Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. This is Cyan of @perceivegrace, both on here and Instagram. Today we are setting up the month of September in my reading journal and going over my September TBR. I will link all of the materials I'm using in this video in the description box below. And as always, I try my best to vet the books that I put on my TBR every month to match my reading preferences of clean fiction. I will also describe my reading preferences some more in the description box below, but I will catch you later in the voiceover for the TBR, and let's get started. Welcome to my reading nook. Let's get into my TBR in no particular order, starting with Under Different Stars by Janessa Burt. This is a Regency romance, and I believe it mostly, if not all, takes place entirely at sea as well. I've heard it described as ultra romantic and cozy, and I was recommended to read this by Jenny of @jenny.reads on Instagram, and I'm excited to get to it this month. Next up is The Wall by Brian Penn. This is a YA dystopian romance with strong Christian themes. The author reached out to me on Instagram and asked if he could send me a copy and asked me to read and review it whenever I could get to it. I let him know that I would be putting it on my September TBR, and here we are, and I'm really looking forward to this. Next up is A Lady's Heart of Gold by Sally Britton. This is an American Victorian Western or cowboy romance, and it's the last book in the Arizona or Hearts of Arizona series. I gave the first two books 5 stars and read them a little bit ago. I have been putting off finishing the series, not sure why, just kind of keep putting it on the back burner, but the first 2 books were so good, and I know that this one will be as well, and I just want to make sure I get to it this year. Next, we have Sweet Temptation by Alexandra Moody. This is the second book in the Wadebridge Academy trilogy, which is a YA boarding school contemporary romance. I read the first book almost 2 years ago, so it's been a very long time. I did give it 5 stars at that time, but my reading tastes have changed, so I'm a little worried. Hopefully, I will really love this second book. This one is The One Who Wrote Away by Joanna Alonso. It is the first book in the Prodigal One series, which is a Christian contemporary romance series. Joanna Alonso is definitely an underrated author. I've read one other book by her that she sent me last year. I read and reviewed it, really loved it. And this will be my second book by her, like I said, but she self-publishes the prettiest books, and I really want to get to this month. Next up is The Billionaire's Backup by Elizabeth Madre. This is a Christian contemporary billionaire romance. It is book 4 of 6 of the Billionaire Next Door series, which is interconnected. So I'm just going to start with this one first because it interested me the most, and it's the cover I liked the most as well. Someone on Instagram did reassure me that this series is really good, so I'm very excited to get to it. This one is Grave Pursuits by L.E.K. It's book 1 in the Pennsylvania Parks trilogy or series. Not sure if they're like super interconnected or not, but it's a Christian contemporary romantic mystery thriller. I don't really love reading thrillers often, but when I do, I really want to be assured that it's a good one, that is clean, and so I'm excited about this. Here's another repeat contender, The Kiss of Deception by Mary E. Pearson. It's part of the Remnant Chronicles, which is a YA fantasy romance. It's also marketed as non-magical. I've read Dance of Thieves by Mary E. Pearson and really liked it, and I just have been putting off getting to this, but I want to get to it this month. Next is a book I know almost nothing about and have never heard anyone talk about, Fair September by Virginia Goodhart. It is super underrated on Amazon, and I plan to read it on KU before buying it. I don't want to buy it until I'm sure that I'm loving it, but the cover is obviously stunning, and September is in the title, so what better time to read it? It's described as being a really wholesome contemporary town romance with the single mother trope, and it was kind of just like an impulsive add to my TBR. Again, I knew nothing about it, but I was searching for fall reads, and this just looks like a great time to get to this, and I really hope I enjoy it. Another impulsive read or impulsive add to my September TBR is The Comeback by Renee S. Clark. I saw this on Instagram the other day, and I was like, you know what, I'm formulating my September TBR right now. Let's add it. It is described as a contemporary sports romance. It's the start of a new series, and it's also described as a sweet second chance sports romance inspired by Jane Austen's Persuasion. So that sounds amazing, and the cover is beautiful. I'm going to read it on KU before buying it, and hopefully this is great. Next, we have The Women of Wintons by Donna Muma. I keep seeing this in Barnes & Noble, and I keep wanting to buy it, and I told myself, show some restraint, put it on your September TBR, and if you can get to it, then you can buy it. But it is a Christian 1950s mystery. I don't know if there's going to be Christian themes in it, but it is by a Christian publisher, and it is about 4 women who don't have a lot in common, and it's centered around the glamour of a 1950s department store, and there is a mystery involved, obviously, and the cover just looks super cute. And honestly, like, I don't read enough historicals that are like mid-century, and it would just be really fun to be in that like atmosphere for a little bit in a book. But this released recently this past July, and I hope I can get to it this month, if not at some point this fall. This one is The Color of Home by Kit Tosello. This is also this author's debut, and I did sign up to read and review this, so I am expecting a physical copy from the publisher this month. I believe it releases on September 24th, and it is a Christian contemporary small town women's fiction with romance, and it sounded really good. That's why I signed up to read and review it. I read the synopsis, and I really liked how it sounded, and it also takes place in a mountain town, so that'll be really fun, and I'll definitely be reading that this month. Next up is Before We Were Us by Denise Hunter. This is this author's most upcoming release. It releases this month in September, and I read my first Denise Hunter book in July, and I really loved it, and so I've been looking for which one I want to read next, because she does have a really big backlist, so I thought what better one to read next than this clearly fall autumnal one coming out soon. I believe it has the amnesia trope, but it is a Christian contemporary small town romance. Another new release for this month is A Presumptuous Hope by Jenny Goutet. This is a Regency romance. I did sign up to receive an ARC for this as well and read it and review it. It releases September 12th. I have read so many books by Jenny. I really, really love her. She is an extremely reliable Regency romance author, and all of her Regency romances feel very traditional in the way that, you know, a lot of Regency lovers want them to feel. This is the third and final book of the Daughters of the Gentry series, and this is the one I'm most excited for, or have been most excited for. Another arc I signed up to read and review this month is Royally Matched by Kate O'Keefe. This is the second book in the Royally Kissed series, which is a contemporary royal romantic comedy series. I read the first book earlier this year and really, really liked it, and her rom-coms never fail to make me smile. This releases on September 26th, so I will definitely be getting to this as well, and I am expecting a physical copy. But yeah, I really recommend Kate O'Keefe for just really cute and funny reads, and this should be really good. Last but certainly not least is Of Gold and Shadows by Michelle Greep. This is a new series from this author, Time's Lost Treasures. I am getting a physical copy of this as well, so I did sign up to read and review it. It releases September 24th, and it is a Victorian romance with mystery and intrigue. This author is really, really known for her Victorian mysteries, and from what I've read from her, she does always put really good Christian content in it, so I'm excited by this, and the cover is absolutely stunning.
Try to stay strong and fake a smile until I look away. But I've known you too long, it hurts to watch your blue eyes fade to gray as you fade away, as you fade away.